Oh my goodness, I just got home from getting this piece of furniture. I cannot believe that I found this. It was the answer to my prayers. It has literally everything I need. I wanted something antique. I wanted something really inexpensive. I wanted something with doors, and I also wanted something with drawers, and I wanted something that could fit in my car that I didn't have to bother Connor with. And this hit all of those things. I'm so excited about it. The piece was $30, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so inexpensive. Everything else was like $70, and this was so inexpensive. So what happens when you shop at Restore, they usually have like different color tags or different percentage off, and then yellow is new arrival. So this was a new arrival, so it wasn't on sale, and I was like fine with that because it was so cheap. I got to the register and she was like, today is customer appreciation day, so anything that's normal price is 15% off. So I got this for $25. I'm so happy about it, and I just am so excited to refinish it. So let's get into that. Here's the beautiful piece of furniture. I was really looking for something with a lot of storage and some beautiful detail, and this has both. All of the details on this piece are absolutely stunning. I am so in love with this piece. I think it's so beautiful and so unique. So it has these two doors, and when you open them up, there are tons of drawers inside, which is amazing. If you guys saw last week's video, I redid my craft room, and this was a piece that I put in there. So I wanted to show you guys this week how I'm redoing this piece of furniture, but it was so amazing. I saw Connor spying on me as I was doing this, but I just love all these drawers. There have these two top drawers too, which are awesome. So the first thing I'm going to do is remove all of the drawers. That way we can get our product all over this piece of furniture and begin to strip it. I'm also taking off any hardware that is on this dresser. That way we can clean that separately, but make sure if you do this, you put it in a safe area. That way you don't lose it. These doors did not want to come off at all. The screws are just so tight in there, so I don't want to keep prying them out and like trying to get them out and then they don't, you know, go back in. So we're gonna leave these attached, which is completely fine. All the drawers are out. I have the drawers right over here. Everything is out of the sun. So now we're gonna take the product and apply it all over. So here's the supplies we will be using. I have a plastic drop cloth, this Citristrip, which will be the star of the show. I got a big tub of this. I believe it was $24. I will link it down below for you guys. I have some gloves to protect my hands and also a rag just to wipe any excess Citristrip off. Citristrip is a pretty easy stripper to use. It's a gel. It's a more natural stripper also, and it smells like oranges, so it doesn't have that really bad chemical smell to it like most strippers do. I still recommend using this outside in a well ventilated area. You can use a mask if you need, but we had some good wind that day and I didn't feel like I needed one. So I'm just going to put on my gloves. You guys can apply this in any way that you want, but for me, I just feel like with all of the little details I have, it was easier for me just to use my hands, but of course you guys can use a paintbrush to apply this. So I just dug my hands right in there and put this all over the piece of furniture. I kind of feel like a little kid doing this, but I, again, just feel like this is just the easiest way for me to make sure I got it on every little nook and cranny. Citristrip can take anywhere between 30 minutes to 24 hours to fully work. Usually with most pieces, within 30 minutes you should see the product starting to bubble, which means that it is working and most likely ready to go. But some pieces may take a little bit longer. So another thing with Citristrip is that because it's a gel, you don't want it to dry out. So you want to make sure you're not doing this in direct sunlight. And basically by applying the plastic, it keeps the gel still moist. So everything inside of it gets to stay moist and it gets to keep working and bubbling. Probably been, I'd say, about 2 hours. So let's see what it looks like. Ooh, it is looking rough. Look at all of that paint that's bubbling. That's really good though. So also here's the drawers. I'll show you guys too. The drawers actually bubbled way faster than the actual piece of furniture did. So there is what it looks like. I took my ring off because I was like, this is probably a really bad idea to wear the ring. So let's get a tool. I'll show you guys what tools I'm going to use to work on this. So I got this set from Lowe's. It's a 4-piece brush set. So there's these nylon brushes and then these stainless steel ones. So it says here like the different things that they do. And then I just got this scraper. It was like 98 cents. I think this thing was like $4 and change, so it was pretty good. So I'm just going to throw my gloves on and then we're going to start stripping this and see if it's ready to go. Well, before I put my gloves on, let's just test it. We'll test right here, I guess. Ooh, ooh. Okay, oh, wow. How cool. What is that? Is that the wood or is that like another layer of paint? I can't really tell. Kind of looks like another layer of paint almost, because it doesn't look like wood. Huh. So as I said, I was so surprised to find that there was another layer of paint under this. The piece actually looked like it was just stained a dark wood, but it was just a painting technique that they did. Also, depending on what age your piece of furniture is, you should always be careful of lead paint so you can test your furniture before you start to strip it. But this piece of furniture has so much paint gooped onto it and it was just taking me so long. As you guys can see, the second layer of paint did not want to come up. I actually left, I think I left this for 24 hours. I don't remember now because this was a month ago. Or I might have left a piece of it for 24 hours and it still was not removing that under layer of paint. So what I did was I ended up applying another layer of Citristrip to it because this yellow paint was very, very tricky to get up. So like I said before, I ended up having to apply a second layer, but it was fine. It wasn't that big of a deal. So I applied the second layer and then again, just put more plastic wrap over it. That way everything stayed moist and kept working. Okay, so it's day 2 of this. So today what we're going to use is I have a mask, odorless mineral spirits, this scraping tool, and then the brushes. Here's what the piece looks like. I tested a few areas. The top portion for some reason still is like really just stuck on there, but I tested this little section, came off easy, and the drawers also came off really easy. So basically what we're going to do is just scrape all of this paint off, and then we'll go in with the mineral spirits and clean it up. And we could either use the pads for that and just soak them in it, or we could do it with the brushes and then just wipe it off after. Now that we have that layer of paint off, I'm taking some steel wool and I dipped it in the mineral spirits, and I'm just going to gently go over the piece of furniture. And as you guys can see, it removes any of the excess paint and any of the Citristrip, and it leaves a really beautiful finish. So if there are still a few little sections of paint on it that are just kind of stubborn and don't come off, don't worry about it, because we're going to take care of that in the next step. For these small details, I just took the brush and again I dipped it in the mineral spirits and went over the area. I did need to clean out the brush a few times, dip it in the mineral spirits, and then go over it again just to make sure everything was getting cleaned. As I was stripping this drawer, I realized that this was a completely different type of wood, and you guys can tell it was a very light wood. So I'll show you guys what that looks like in a little bit. So now it's been some time and it is finally time to remove the plastic, and once again use my little spatula and go over this whole area and get all of this off. This layer was definitely the trickiest to do. The first layer came off so seamlessly. This one just was really stubborn and just wanted to stay on the piece of furniture. As you guys can see, this was definitely a project. I think I was working on this for a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. I was just kind of doing a little bit every day. So after this whole process, you guys can see there's still some paint left on it. So what I did was I just let this whole area dry out completely, and you want to make sure it dries completely before you do this next step. But we just took our sanders and started to sand everything off, and it came off really easily. I was actually sitting on top of the table doing this piece, but you guys can see it's very simple to just sand off any of the excess paint. And when you come to things like this, if you have lots of details on it, you can just take a straight edge and just kind of start chipping away at the paint. If you're using a blade like mine, just be careful to not nick any of the pieces of wood because it will tear it apart. I have this garden tool which actually worked out so well, so I used this for all of the doors and drawers that had this little molding on it. Connor luckily had a triangular sanding attachment for my tool, so I was able to attach that and then use it to get into all of these little corners, and it worked out so well. I'm so happy he had this because I thought I was gonna have to go to Lowe's and buy a whole new sander just to get in these little areas, but this was perfect. Speaking of Connor, you guys can see him in the background mowing the lawn. Okay guys, it's about a month later, not really, but it feels like it. It's been probably a week and a half since I got this piece of furniture. It has taken me so long to finally get to the point where it's all sanded down. I will say there's a couple spots on it like where you can kind of see some of the old paint, but I actually like that because I'm not going for like a perfect look on this. I just want it to look more like distressed and worn out. So what we're gonna do next, now that everything's sanded, I just ran to the dollar store, got some paper bowls, I got some bleach. Normally they have like the Clorox brand of bleach, but they didn't today, so I just got this one, so hopefully this works just as well. And then I just have some paintbrushes, not from the dollar store, but basically what we're gonna do is I'm gonna pour the bleach into the bowl. Super simple. We're gonna take our paintbrush and then just paint it over the furniture, and it's gonna help the furniture to lighten up. So the wood on the furniture already, oh, there's the mama deer over there. Mama deer's been hanging out over here the past like week and a half. She's so sweet. She's gonna have babies soon. But you can see the wood is actually like a pretty light color. I really like the color that it is. So your wood might be darker, but basically this is just going to give it like more of like a lighter blonde bleached sort of a wood color. So let's start it and see how it turns out. The first thing I'm going to do is take my paintbrush and just go over the area to make sure there's no dust or residue on the piece of wood. So now what I'm doing is I just dip my paintbrush in the bleach, and now I'm going over the piece of furniture with it. I would love to do this to another piece of furniture that is a little bit of a darker wood, and I would love to add many layers of bleach so it gets a really blonde color. The thing with this piece of furniture is that I actually liked the color that it was already, but I was just really intrigued by trying this bleaching effect, so that's why I just did one layer of it. But if you guys would like to see a full bleaching video where I really transform a piece of furniture that way, then let me know and I can try to do that. Also, I have this really beautiful table. I just brought it outside. It has 2 leaves on it. I want to do something to it, but I'm not sure what I should do. Like, should I paint it? Should I try this like bleaching effect on the whole table? Let me know what you guys think, and whatever you guys choose, I can try to make a video for it. There's a really cool story behind the table, so I'll explain that to you guys if and when I do the video. I'm so happy with how light and beautiful these are all coming out to be. Like I mentioned, there's this one drawer that is completely different from all the others, but it's okay. It'll just give it a little bit more character. So I like where the color is right now, so to stop the bleaching from going, we are going to take some water with a rag and just go over the whole area. Next, what I'm doing is taking all of the knobs and hardware for the furniture, and I'm going to clean these. So the way I'm going to do this is just take some steel wool, take the knob, and basically just go in a circular motion over it, and it's going to shine it up and make it look really beautiful. Finally, this piece of furniture is back in the house after 2 weeks of working on it, and it is ready to be put together. Once I had the piece of furniture all together, I had a little bit of a freak out. I felt like I didn't like how different all of the wood panels were, because you can see like some of the wood moldings are lighter, the drawer moldings are darker, the bottom drawer is lighter. There's like the sides that are a little bit lighter, and I just did not like how everything was looking, and I think it's just because it wasn't what I imagined it to look like. I really love this top section here, and I wanted the whole thing to look like that. But I can happily say, after letting it sit for a minute, I actually really like it now. I think that it's very eclectic. I like that it's not matchy-matchy, and I just think it's a fun and unique piece. So here's the final reveal of this piece of furniture. I absolutely love how it turned out. I like that there's still some paint in some of the details, because like I said, I just feel like it gives it a little bit more character, and this piece is definitely so different from anything I'll be able to find in the stores. So I'm really pleased with how this turned out. Definitely having all of this storage space inside is so amazing for my craft room. I got to organize everything in here and just keep everything nice and tidy. If you guys want to see the whole craft room makeover, definitely be sure to check out that video. I will leave it in the description box. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Maybe it gave you some inspiration to work on a piece of furniture you have. If you guys do anything like this, be sure to tag me in your photos so I can see what it looks like. But I hope you guys are having a great weekend, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye!